All right, hello everybody and welcome to Horizon Overwatch Scrim Night. Very excited to bring you the second day of our Hype Week. It is Tuesday, we're on day 2, and we've got a great show for everybody planned for today. It's going to be SDG going up against Hyve Orange. I am Argender, and with me as always is my good friend Dancer.
Yep, day 2 of Hype Week, getting ready for it. It's just Tuesday, every day gets closer to our massive tournament, and every day we're bringing you better and better games. This one, a 4.4K scrim coming to you live. This is going to be competitive as always, Argander. I'm really excited for this one.
Welcome.
Yeah, very exciting, about as high as you can expect to find anywhere to be seen right now. So this is a place you want to be, have a seat, relax, and watch some great gameplay today. Very curious to see how we start here. Typically, we like to start at King's Row because that's a little bit of a favorite of everybody here around Horizon Overwatch, but it is going to be starting off at the Oasis. Very curious to see if we're going to see more of that triple support combo that we've been seeing so frequently, Dancer. If it's going to be more towards the dive here. Very curious to see what kind of styles each team starts with. If they're going to start with something exciting, maybe a little bit out there, catch the enemy team off guard, or if they're going to start a little bit safe and just feel out the competition.
Well, last time we saw Oasis, the funky thing that happened was one team actually went dive, which really isn't meta, but it is confusing because if one team goes dive, it kind of allows high ground to be taken for free by the tanky comp. So it was really hard to see how this game would play out when both teams are playing meta, or at least both playing tankier comps. So I think we're going to get a similar situation here. It looks like Hyve wants to go the dive, and we're going to get the same thing that I just talked about.
Well, remember, doors are opening in 10 seconds. A lot of times the teams like to debate the casters, see if they can switch it up right at the last second. We might be seeing that here. We got 30 seconds until doors open, and let's see what SDG has in store. Coming out fast with the Lucio. They do have the Reinhardt. Triple support is coming out, double tank, and then you've got Korea Boo on the McCree. This is a very good position to be in, too. Especially with that Reinhardt, you don't mind if you lose the low ground because you want to bait the enemy team. They have to touch the point within the next 10 seconds before the cap starts. So this is a very good position, but are they going to be able to use it? First kill going in the way of Bokan, taking out the enemy team Zenyatta. But this is very scary. Snarf is free in the sky. The McCree on the enemy team on BDG does not see Snarf right now. This might be his moment to shine. Probably not, though, because SCG is getting kill after kill, capped the point, and Snarf is forced to recall with the rest of his team for the 6K.
I mean, but that's a really nice engagement pick, and almost got the Mercy there too. This really could be shaping up for the start of an attack.
Yeah, Hyve Orange in a very, very good position here. There is no Reinhardt. Bokan is out of the fight right now. Won't be back for about another 10 seconds, so Hyve Orange needs to take the fight right now. They have a huge advantage, but it will be lost if they don't take the fight. Pretty good positioning here. Contestation of the point has begun, and the first one to go down in this fight is going to be the McCree to the Zenyatta, getting the kill across the map. Brought back up with the res. We're in a proper 6v6 now because Bokan has returned into the fray. Muffins will not stop getting his second kill of this team fight. Much more important this time, taking out the Mercy. That is a huge deal, and it doesn't seem like anybody's bugging Muffins right now. He's dumping out so much damage. He has his Transcendence, but it might not be enough because Hyve is very, very weak in this fight. It seems as though the Trans is going to come out, but it might not be enough to keep his whole team up. They have already died. This is going to have to be a huge play by Hoplo to save this point.
I mean, this entire time, Hyve's been recontesting, and it's been, I mean, it hasn't been their point, so very long fight. They do end up, it looks like they might take this one, but really, really long fight. 74, 75% to the side of SDG.
That Mercy makes it out with 1 HP, and you gotta give the congratulations to Muffins on that one. Staying alive, getting the kills, pops Trance to keep his D.Va and mech, and really gives his team enough time to respawn, get back into the fight, which enables somebody like Sezco on that Hanzo to do what he does best and hit those shots. All right, early pecking back and forth. The Dragon's in, more of a zoning Dragon there, not getting too much value. And it looks like Jose really wants to pop off with this bomb, but it's not even necessary because Sezco gets a 2K, both with the Stormbow. That is fantastic work by Sezco there.
I mean, say what you want about the scatter shot swap, but Scattershot wouldn't typically give you 2 picks like that. This new Storm Bow, definitely a lot easier to get the multi-kills when you're just spamming over the shield or into the shield like that. You put down that shield and that's a lot of damage that's coming through accidentally or on purpose.
This is going to be very tough for SDG as well. They don't have anybody who can contest the high ground at all, and Sesko is up there for free. Snarf also on the high ground, just completely owning the skies, and now all of the kills seem to be going in the way of Hyve. This is fantastic after that initial loss on the point. They lost as much as 78% to the other team, but then they did get the cap, and this defense has been almost unshakable.
It's so hard. Like you said, they aren't going to be able to contest that high ground. Not at all. And you have so many characters that utilize it. I mean, half of their team can basically be on high ground. I guess the only one that isn't mobile would be the Zen, who's just been sitting in the back doing free damage the entire game. So not being able to contest this high ground, very, very rough for this team. They're going to have to get this McCree in a position where he can do something about this.
Snarf wants to open up this next fight. This could be the final fight, so he's looking to use that barrage. He's not seeing a good opportunity. Very smart here, saving it, getting the best opportunity he can. Still doesn't want to use it, though, because he's not ready. And in the time it took to find a good position there, Korea has popped off with a 2K, taking out the pharmacy, enabling his team to cap the point. What a fantastic play by Korea, being in the right place at the right time, and of course hitting those shots.
Just by looking in the right position, he basically made that a 5v4. He's watching the Pharah. She can't get into position. If she drops too low, he'll flashbang her. If she's too far, he'll hit the headshots because she's stationary. So very good pressure there. The Mercy's pocketing the Pharah. You don't have a Mercy, you don't have a Pharah in that fight, and all you, for basically the cost of just missing a McCree. Very good value there.
Well, watch out for Hyve because they do have many, many ultimates online right now. Korea trying to get as much space and time as possible, using the high noon, getting the zone there. It might not be enough because Hopla was able to get in, get the kill, and now it's 5v6, 99% to 99%. Whoever wins this team fight will be winning this first map of Oasis.
But they do step off it for a moment, and now SDG on the defense when they should have been on the offense. And it looks like Hyve's coming out on top. This could be really rough.
Well, SDG not to be taken too lightly, because Son of God comes in, gets 2 kills, including the enemy team's Mercy. Ruby is still up, getting the resurrection there. That is fantastic to see. What happened? Was that a full C9?
They missed it on the C9. Lucio tried to be the guy to touch, tried to be that man, that designation. Unfortunately, I think he just got, like, not there in time.
And what seemed like everything was going in the way of SCG, they had a fantastic comeback towards the end of that team fight, not able to stay on the point. So the point, remember earlier in that team fight, it did go over in the way of Hyve, so they were able to cap, and it seemed like it paid off in dividends to get that cap there, because they get the free point once SCG had to step off, try to get the resurrection, didn't work too well. Next point coming in here, SCG is looking to come out strong and make up for that mistake that happened on the last map.
Yeah, that's really unfortunate. You had the positioning, you had the res ready. All it came down to was Lucio sliding in time, and unfortunately they just barely missed it. But like you said, looking to redeem themselves on this next map.
All right, SCG does want to take the high ground. They want to try to deny as much space as possible. Muffin's taken out, but then Sesko gets the redemption for his Zenyatta, and then Zenyatta gets res. So this is what looked initially like it was going to be all SDG. You just have Hyve walking in, hitting all these shots. Sesko getting a fantastic headshot on Korea. And this might be all she wrote for the first fight of SDG on this point.
And this might be the meta of backline picks. This is like, even what little pressure they can get back here just doesn't matter. The only thing that can really touch this Zen and McCree is the Tracer, and what we saw what happened. There's 2 of them focusing them, and then if you get the kill, you get the res for free too, because it's happening in your backline, in your space. So very strong here coming out for the side of Hyve, and I think we're going to see the swap to dive on SDG. They seeing that it is still a part of the meta on some maps. This map too hard to run without those mobile tanks.
Yeah, remember, you know, when SDG first walked out, similar to the last map, they had the Reinhardt, they had the Zarya, but the moment they walked into that fight and lost it, they saw that that was not going to be the way to go. SDG switching onto the dive here, trying to probably find Muffins, but little do they know, he already has his Transcendence ready for this next fight. And we got some trash damage being traded back and forth. Hainu's going to be popped by Sesko, not getting a whole lot of value there, taking out the baby diva with the flashbang headshot. Sesko will not be stopped.
And Sesko cleaning up the fight there, getting the 3K. Gonna be pushing into the enemy, looking for a stagger and the headshot. To Son of God.
That is the play of the game right there, folks. What a fantastic play by Sesko. Really, really alpha gameplay coming out from the McCree on the side of Hyve. How, you know, now we're in a dive situation from the side of SDG, but how are you going to respond to that McCree who's hitting every single shot?
It's so hard because you got the Pharah and the McCree. You're walking into the spam of both of them. Like you always say, Arg, it's really hard to play dive when your tanks can never be at full health.
Yeah, this is so scary, and Sesko again opening up the fight, getting the headshot onto the enemy team's Tracer. That is a huge deal. It's a 5v6, 85% cap, so there's not really time for a full regroup here. It looks like SDG is going to have to take this fight right now.
And SDG swapping onto the dive, but they still haven't had the opportunity to actually take positioning onto point because the amount of pressure that McCree and Farah are putting onto them. Finally, we see the tanks dive, creating some space, and we might see an opening here for the SDG.
SDG, I don't think they've had any tank ultimates because of the swap and because they've been getting boxed out so heavily by the damage coming in from the side of Hyve. They've not been able to build anything. Finally getting some ults off. Bocan is getting a kill. Hot Date is getting one too. This is fantastic to see. This is exactly what SDG needed.
Yeah, your tanks hop on point and suddenly your DPS have the space. That Tracer, we actually see her alive because very big surprise, but she has the space to work. A lot of that time she was getting picks, but it doesn't matter because those picks are easily resable when you don't have the dive tanks, when you don't have that space created. Finally, you switch to the dive, you make the space, and Son of God able to do what he wants to. Big plays there.
This is really fun to watch. Bocan and Hot Dog, they're so aggressive now with their tanks. Once they got their feet underneath of them, all this space that they created enabled the rest of their team to pump out all that damage. So really, really strong play by the tanks, creating that opportunity. And let's see if they can repeat again here because they're going to be walking into a few ults, and here comes one of them right now. Snarf getting a kill with the barrage.
And that Mercy almost got caught out, but tucked into the Winston shield just in time. And not too much value, just one tank.
With a fantastic two-shot air shot is Snarf onto Korea. Sit down for the rest of this match. We're taking this point. And then Sesko, of course, coming in, getting a kill, make it two. Jose, I mean, this is just really, really fun to watch. It is so interesting to watch the dichotomy between how Hyve is approaching us and how SDG is.
SDG buying a bit of time, but it's going to be hard to touch again.
And it's really just, you know, everything except for the cleanup duty is being done here. The res is able to be gotten, but I don't think that there's going to be too much to come out of it. And yeah, it looks like Mercy's going to be taking out Korea, who was res on that point. And you know, going back to what I mentioned before, Dancer, what we really saw a huge difference was, you know, Hyve had Sesko, and they also had their Pharah, who were just absolutely dominant, dumping out so much damage. Really, really oppressive for the enemy team. No push was, you know, even started on the side of SDG because you had players like Sesko who were hitting those shots. You had Snarf, who was, you know, owning the air almost completely. On the side of SDG, though, they were focusing much more on their tank play, trying to create and enable the rest of their team to, you know, come in with the dive. And we did see it work. It worked very well when Bocan and Hot Date were on the same page, but the moment that those tanks got split up, the dive was a little bit shaky there. There was no DPS who was able to pop off. So very interesting to see, you know, the DPS heavy focus from Hyve and the tank heavy focus that's coming in from SDG.
But this map is a lot better for the heavy tank comps, and it looks like SDG is opting back into it, and Hyve is staying strong on the roots of dive. Looks like they bought the space though, scaring off SDG. They gotta run to the regroup. Even with the pick on Snarf, that's
losing your Brigitte that early in the fight is such a huge deal. I mean, she's only valuable. She's going to be lasting out the whole fight. So that was a huge pick that came in from Hyve, and they are going to be rewarded with the first cap of the point. We are in a 5v5 because remember, we also saw a pick come out to the Hyve side. So this is going to be very, very hotly contested here. Nobody wants to do the full regroup. They want to win this fight right now.
And I'm wondering where this Brigitte is because Haplo is able to just bully the tank line. Like you said, I guess this is the first pick. She's not back yet, and look what he's able to do.
And now we have all of the kills. That's what you want to see. You know, if you're on the side of SDG, seeing all those kills just falling like dominoes, really fantastic play. Everybody's just following the Discord as it goes from target to target, which shows why Ruby is in this match. Not only is Ruby able to hit those right clicks from across the map, but the Discord priority is making it so easy for the rest of his team to capitalize on those picks.
I don't like to think of Discord as 33% extra damage. I like to think of Discord as making the enemy have 33% less life. So those enemies technically have basically 140 health when that Discord's on them. And a little bit of trouble.
Tire not going to be able to get climbing up there. The Tire's not going to get any value from Sezgo, but the first kill is going to be coming in from Muffins.
And that beat on the engage prevents Snarf from doing what he wanted, clogging the choke with his ult. Actually worked out very well to be a zoning ult, but you lost both of your support ults now, and now he's on the aggression.
Yeah, Hyve is in a very advantageous spot right here. They do not even need to use any more ultimate. Snarf smartly hanging on to that barrage. He's going to be saving it for the next fight. He didn't need it in that one, getting 3 kills. So, you know, what a swing that came in from Hyve there, being able to take back the point. What seemed like it was going to be completely losing the situation, Hyve was able to get in there, get the first couple picks, and then continue applying pressure.
And the big thing here is both support ults down on the side of SDG. This is going to be a really big Pharaoh ult in behind the shield. And the stun comes through, kind of denies it.
The stun does come through. Korea is able to stop the barrage, but not before he takes his life for the cause. SDG is in a very good position, though. That barrage was not able to get anybody else down in it. Now all the kills are going in the side of SDG. And look at this Reinhardt. He is in such an aggressive position. He's taken over the enemy team's side, and now he's just walking, holding left click like a good Reinhardt should. But on the initiation there, just Bokan being where he was, fantastic positioning. The enemy team tried to focus him down, but so much HP, especially with the Moira holding left click on you, he was essentially invincible right there. So all the focus fire that came into Bokan was completely useless in stopping that push.
Yeah, the bubble came through, cleansed, the Discord, and gave the opportunity to get a bit more heals on him. Hot Date really coming through for his tank partner there.
Another Tire not getting a whole lot of value there. Trying to get the Tracer, baited out the rewind that she had, but it just didn't work out in the favor of that one. And Sezgo trying to open it up there, did not get any value, and the rest of his team is taken out in the process. 90% is capped by SDG. This is going to be one final fight, and it's going to be a very, very hasty fight being brought in by the Hyve.
I mean, this is the final fight coming out, but Ruby has his Coalescence. This is going to be big. The sustain going to be under the advantage, but that Discord, that Reinhardt falls very quickly.
Yeah, that Reinhardt melted immediately when he used his charge there, so even Ruby's Coalescence wasn't able to save him there. But now we've got kills being traded back and forth. Muffins again in the kill feed. This Zenyatta will not be stopped.
And Snarf's Dragon coming through, not just to zone, but actually gets the kill on Hot Date. And it looks like it's going in the way of Hyve here.
Yeah, and this is very, very scary positioning for SDG. Not only did they just lose the point, yes, they have some time, but take a look at their ultimates. They have nothing online, and they're not even close to anything here. You know, Hyve is in a similar position. They have a couple things coming up, but they also own the point. So this is heavily advantaged towards Hyve. The question is, can SDG get a very quick pick and capitalize off that? Without that first pick, it's going to be almost impossible for SDG to cap this point.
And the swap to dive happens too, knowing that they don't got much time, and that's a really bad stagger. You only got 5 seconds to hop on point here. Down a hero.
And Sezgo, with his third Tire of this map, does get his first kill, and it is probably the most important kill of the fight, taking out the Lucio, and that's going to completely cripple the assault that's coming in from SDG.
And Snarf here just taking free shots from the high ground, completely unnoticed. So much damage coming out for basically free.
Muffins again getting the 3K. I mean, it's just fantastic to watch. I mean, I'm always going to be a little bit partial towards supports, especially towards fantastic Zenyatta players, which we've seen on both sides. But Muffins, it always feels like he's in the right place at the right time. Those Discords are amazing. And then he's also showing up in the kill feed, so he's hitting his shots as well. Let's take a look at what Bokan had to offer. And that says it all right there. The tank play that came out from SDG was incredibly strong, but not to be outdone was the DPS in both Sezgo and Snarf. And then, of course, Muffins jumping into that DPS pile as well with the DPS Zenyatta. What a fantastic match. Very, very back and forth on that one.
Yeah, and it's interesting to see. I mean, I know Hyve has a leaning towards the dive. It's actually one of their stronger comps, and it looks like they're able to play it in a meta that doesn't super support it. So they must be so drilled into their brains all the theory behind, you know, dive. And we saw Muffin on that Zenyatta, which is basically, I think he's the cornerstone of dive. That Discord's just too important. And we saw Muffin playing that hero, so I can definitely see why they're leaning towards dive, even though meta might not be suggesting that's the best call. So this coordinated team play definitely going to be a really big stepping stone to try and beat on the side of SDG. But I think they can do it. We saw some really strong tank play, and I was very impressed by a lot of those DPS picks too. So I think if they start to work around and they figure out the counters to this dive, they actually are going to have a very good chance to do some work here.
Yeah, and that's why it can be very difficult if you're on ladder, if you're in solo queue, you lock in a Zenyatta, you know, you're not really going to feel this incredible power that you see on a team like Hyve, that you see on a team like SDG, because not only do they have just individually good players, but they know how to work together. They know where the target is, and most importantly, there's so much trust there. Everybody knows that the other tanks, that the other DPS are going to be focusing the correct target. So as a Zenyatta player in a situation like that, I mean, you're really dictating the entire tempo and pace of the game. You're really the game master at that point. And the trust that's built up with a team like Hyve shows that they can follow up on those Discord calls, get the kills cleanly, and win those team fights very cleanly as well.
Yeah, and I mean, the Discord is one thing. The Discord is one of the strongest team play abilities in the game. Like I said, it basically decreases a hero's health pool if you can do the damage fast enough. But one thing that you mentioned is that Muffin was getting the engagement pick about half the time. Like, that's incredible play coming out of his end. That's so much value to know that you're walking into a fight and, I don't know, what, 1 out of every 3 fights, Muffin just basically hit a 5-stack to make it a 5v6 off the start. You either buy 15 seconds with a regroup, or I mean, they're engaging with 5 people. That's a really big deal there. That's incredible value. You're doing so much more than just discording targets and calling out to your team. You're actually completely buying either 15 seconds every once in a while, or you're completely winning a team fight just off first pick.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm interested to see what both of these teams had a chance to feel each other out on Oasis. They know generally what to expect, who to be watching out for, and what kind of team comps both teams favored in that first point. Now, obviously, moving on to Junkertown, you know, team comps can switch, you know, wildly on this one, especially as you go throughout the map. There's a lot of different very smart switches that teams will do depending on the phase of the map. So this one's going to be a little bit more chaotic, but at the very least, both Hyve and SDG have an idea of what the other team is capable of.
Yeah, and I mean, Hyve not going to be able to make the dive work on this one. Like I said, it looks like they're prone to playing it, but this map is kind of set in stone as just basically an undivable map. These areas just really hard to play around. If you get that Bastion on the cart, basically dive is very susceptible to that damage of the open space. So they are forced to flex onto the meta. We got some meta slaves in this one, but I'm interested to see if their team play can translate into different comps, because so far all we've really seen is the dive.
Well, let's take a look at what we've got coming out right now. 10 seconds until the doors open, and it looks like Son of God is thinking about that Bastion play. It's not a bad strat here. Curious to see if Hyve has thought about that ahead of time, if they're expecting this, and if they plan to play around it. All right, just feeling it out. And what you'll notice here, a lot of the higher level teams, they don't hold high ground on this first point on defense. They're gonna hold that low ground because typically you just don't want to get shot in the head by a Hanzo, and it looks like SDG is pulling out the Hanzo, potentially for that exact reason. Just get those free picks early on. Sezco getting the very first pick, and then Korea's responding with a pick of his own. Most of the kills look like they're going in the way of SDG, but now we've got a free-for-all going on point. Kills being traded back and forth.
And if there aren't too many reses, then this is going to go into the advantage of SDG, who has a lot closer of a spawn, but it looks like only one down on the side of Hyve, and that's a Tracer coming back into the fight right now. Or a Widowmaker, that is.
All right, Sezco trying to get as many picks as possible, as quickly as possible, to potentially save this run, because Haplo going down there, your main tank dying is a huge deal. Now you've lost your off tank as well, unless somebody on the side of Hyve is able to pop off with a 3, 4, or 5K right now, this is going to be a lost team fight, and it looks to regroup. I'm sorry, it looks like the regroup has been called. One more fight should be available before this cart reaches the Junkertown side.
One more fight available, and we got this Junkrat tire that might be coming out. This could be trouble if they can get it in behind that Orisa shield. Gonna take out most of the team. And that's massive.
The 3K called it by Dancer. Snarf is ready to follow up on that 3K opening with the tire. And then, of course, you have Muffins in the kill feed. That's a very, very common sight. Sesgo cleaning up the pieces.
And it looks like they even waited. I mean, you could have pulled that tire a little bit earlier. You could have even waited a little bit later, but they waited for the perfect time for this little hut that's right beside payload to provide a bit of cover so that you only have a half-second opportunity to shoot that tire and get 100 damage on it. So not an easy task, especially when you don't know when it's coming out. You have only the sound cue to kind of give you a hand, but not enough. And Snarf saves that defense. This is going to be an even spawn time now, so not a bad spot to be if you're Hyve at all.
Yeah, lots of kills coming in the way of Hyve right now. Another dead push here. You got a minute 52 left. Probably can get 3, maybe 4 more pushes if the first 3 do fail. But take a look at Son of God. He was going to be on that Bastion, switching over to the Widowmaker, trying to counter Sesgo. Somebody's got to do it. It might as well be Son of God.
Well, what I'm scared is they're going to hit the Sonic Arrow, and then they basically have sights. Doesn't matter, or I guess right away, Son of God.
Son of God is not done. He takes out Sesgo very cleanly, and then taking out the Mercy as well. Jose is trying to save this point here, but it's going to be very difficult if you don't have that main healer on your team. Trance is coming in trying to save this point.
It's a little bit late, I think. Only a Roadhog, and he hasn't been able to do much because of that shield being up. But here comes a godly Snarf tire.
Tire to be coming in, and it's going to be taken out by Bokan. So Snarf looking to replay what he did before, taken out very quickly by Bokan on the Orisa.
And it looks like he actually got it behind that shield, just didn't have the opportunity to hit the trigger and launch it and get that 3K like he did before. So very unfortunate, but very modest try by Snarf there.
Yeah, now we're in a position where, you know, Hyve really, really wants to stop this point. They're sending everything at it, but people keep dying one after another, and smartly, Sesgo is going to be pulling back here, knows that the point is lost, and tries to get into a much better position on the second phase of this fight.
Well, you already got the 2 fights, the 2 holds there, so you don't want to give up high ground on this second phase. I mean, the way that it ended up, they're probably going to end up having 2 fights on phase 2 here too. So actually this defense looking very, very strong, getting a lot of hard resets.
All right, the fight is going to be opening up here. Bokan not getting a whole lot of value out of his bongos. The fight's coming straight at SDG though, and if they don't have a way to respond, this Roadhog ult could turn the tide of this fight. Here comes the Roadhog ult right now, but he's taken out very quickly, both with damage, and he got Bash completely stalled out. Is going to be Jose, not adding any value to that fight, taken out very quickly. Now we've got a DPS Mercy, can't get the kill, but she is able to make the enemy Widowmaker, you know, rethink that positioning that she's in. And then Muffins popping off again. Take a look at Muffins. Every single time you see him on this screen, you're going to see his face in the kill feed. This is fantastic to watch. He is offering so much support. Not only is he healing, he's able to pop that trance to even more healing, but he's doing the most healing by stopping the source of the damage before it starts.
Yeah, that's a convenient way to do some healing. I mean, if the other team doesn't have characters, they can't really do the damage. So the preemptive healing attempt on the side of Muffin here, and he's doing a good job of it all day.
That is the second time we've seen Snarf open up a fight with a mind kill onto the enemy team. So it might not be enough though, because now we've got some kills coming in from SDG. 1 kill onto the enemy team, Widowmaker, and then a res coming in. We've got a 5v5 on point.
And I mean, they can rotate, and I guess Hyve is kind of giving up the high ground here. Snarf's gonna be trying to zone it off with some mines, but oh, this could be bad news.
The poor Mercy at 1 HP dying to the Widow mine. I've been there. I've died to that as well. It's very sad when there's nothing you can do. So that's going to be a full team fight. I'm sorry, full team wipe coming in from SDG. And it looks like they are going to be able to cap point number 2 here. So now we're going into the final phase with the fidget spinner. Curious to see if on defense there's going to be any switches. Doesn't look like anybody swapped off yet.
I mean, if you don't swap off the Widow for that phase 2, you're probably not going to swap off for it for this phase 3. So many nice high ground perches to sit on. Definitely easy to get that damage in behind a shield and onto a support. Lots of damage coming in behind that shield. Unfortunately, they aren't able to get in behind it just yet, but keeping the pressure on. Unable to move this cart until the Bocan can take the front line back.
You know, a lot of times we see these Widow v Widow duels, but I feel like we're seeing a Ruby v Muffins duel. The Zenyatta duel is so extreme. Right clicks from across the map, and Muffins showing that he's going to take the best of this duel right here, getting that right click onto Ruby as he tries to escape.
Yeah, definitely the Zen duel is a thing. It is real here, and Ruby coming back looking for revenge because Muffin just finished that and got a nice stagger kill as a prize.
Looks like 2 support ultimates are available for Hyve if they need to use them, but there's been no pressure on the cart up until this point, so no real need to pop anything as of yet. But you should expect to see some Mercy Valkyries coming out very quickly. Might not need it here because Snarf is going to put the whole team on his back, carry him as he gets that first kill.
And a headshot machine.
What a fantastic use of the new movement that Hanzo allows, getting the headshot onto the enemy team's Widowmaker. Korea's going to try to save this point right now, but it's not going to be enough because the trance is out.
And having a damage boost with that Storm Bow is such a scary thing. So many arrows coming out fast, and that damage boost basically puts them back to normal damage. And these Hanzo ults are coming out almost every 30 seconds to zone the point.
And, you know, we've seen this many, many times with these super high-level players. Exactly what we're seeing tonight. You know, it seemed like SDG was really trying to focus on Snarf there. They knew how, you know, destructive Snarf could be. The problem is if you send more than a couple of resources at Snarf, you don't have the resources to allocate to take out Sezco, who's on the high ground behind you. So, you know, the moment they're looking at Snarf, Sezco is just hitting headshots from range. And he's doing it again, opening up the point with 2 kills on both of the supports. Fantastic job by Sezco.
Yeah, Ryan gets aggressive, but leaves his team vulnerable to those headshots that we see Sezco just consistently hitting.
Yeah, this is a situation where, you know, we're in overtime. It does not look like SDG is going to be able to cap anything on this point. Certainly not with the team kill coming in and a fantastic 3rd-point defense coming out from the Hyve on the backs of, you know, the double sniper. We saw that last night when we were watching. It was very interesting watching that double sniper strategy, and we're seeing it again here. I mean, Sezco is obviously doing a fantastic job, but Snarf is out there as well, just popping off like there's no tomorrow. So having both of these snipers just engaging the enemy team from a distance, or when you have that Hanzo just pulling out the Storm Bow and completely busting through the tanks, this is a very scary lineup to walk into.
Yeah, that Stormbow, I mean, it's almost just as dangerous as that scatter ever was. It breaks through the shield so quickly, and a lot of this time, these Hanzos, they see and they're kind of tracking the shield health. As soon as they see it's pretty low, they pop E, they get that damage boost, and they break the shield in 1 or 2 arrows, and then they break the tank's health pool with the next one. So, really scary thing. We thought this scatter shot being gone would be a good thing for tanks, but it looks like Hanzo just now has his own shield break he can use to create his own opening. So such a scary thing still, and you have to be very cautious of it, and you gotta respect these Hanzos because they're actually hitting these shots.
And that's exactly what you get into when you get into these high-level teams. Again, we're talking 4.3, 4.4K scrims here, and there's no room for any mistakes. The moment somebody steps slightly out of line, a little bit behind that shield, you can almost guarantee that Sezco is going to hit that shot. You can guarantee that, you know, Ruby, who we saw in that Zenyatta, he's going to right-click you the moment you make any mistake. So it's so scary. This is where teams are really tested. You know, it's not just, are you good at the game? It's not just, do you have a good game plan? But can you play it essentially perfectly? Because the moment you make that mistake, it's going to be punished very, very hard.
Yeah, you definitely have to expect the headshots to be hit. Can't be in a position where you allow them to be taken for free. And it looks like they're giving a lot of respect to Sezco here. I think they have a good idea where him and Snarf want to set up.
Very aggressive hold coming in from SDJ. They're right on cart here. They need to get the few kills, and they need to get them fast because first kill going onto their team is on the Lucio. That is a huge deal. Or I'm sorry, the Lucio was able to get the first pick. That's also a huge deal because Yuyi showing off what he can do here. But it doesn't seem like there's going to be much of a team fight. Both teams are kind of just respawning, getting back up to 6v6, and very smart by SDG to not commit too much of that fight because they do want to have availability for this next fight to take over.
And Muffin just barely getting out there. I think he had like less than 25 health. That's a scary thing, but this Discord's still very much so in the battle.
Yeah, Muffin again getting one of the first picks of the fight, but now Hyve is being pushed back, and we're just seeing kill after kill coming in from SDG. SDG is playing so fantastically right now. You know, they seem like they were on their heels. They lost a little bit in that first fight, but having that reinitiation there and just the aggression, the confidence they had to walk in after the first pick and continue hitting W until the enemy team was back in spawn really, really shows you what SDG is capable of.
And that's the power of the soft reset. It takes a lot of discipline, but it can swing a team fight, which is what happened there. I mean, SDG got first pick taken on him. They just walk back, give them the space, not a big deal. It's not a point. You know you already have 2.5 points yourself, so you can buy the space here on first, get the soft reset, and win the next fight, which is exactly what they did. And like I said,
take a look at this right here, though, Dancer, because SDG is doing it again. They didn't even need the soft reset. They just got another 3 kills. It took them like 10 seconds. Another 3 kills in there, buying them an extra 30 seconds. How about that?
Yeah, and Hot Date used that basically as ult to get that 3-second spot, or 30-second spot, and he's 60% on this next ult.
The thick dragon coming through, completely stopped by Muffin's rage on his Transcendence. What a fantastic timing by the Transcendence there. Is it going to be enough? The Mercy is taken out, going for the Resident, the huge headshot! Korea will not be stopped!
Wow. And I thought I saw it all, but that is basically a done fight. You're not going to win when Hanzo hits 3 headshots in a row. It's over. Call the reset. And now SDG looking mighty healthy with these massive health pools. That Brigitte ult committed at the end, so they have their very, very healthy characters ready to take this next offense.
And it looks like Hyve is thinking about those health pools right now, switching onto the Bastion, trying to get as much damage out in as short a time as possible. This might work out for them, but if they're not on the point right now, it's going to be very easy for SCG to get behind them, get above them, and dump in some damage. And here comes the Dragon Bastion. Watch out, the Omnic is going to be taken out, but he is staying alive for as long as possible. All of his teammates dying around him. And poor Bastion having some flashbacks of some of the previous battles he's been in, watching everybody die around him, looking very, very sad at the end. So we're into a position where we're almost final fight. There might be time for 2 fights, but it's going to be one good fight and one kind of sloppy fight. So this is the moment for Hyve to get onto the point and win this fight right now, but they don't have any ultimates available here.
And Sesko actually, I think he's the furthest person back well on the offensive team. Now the defense got to run into him, but Lucio, Yugi coming in for the kill. Taking out that Bastion's a big thing. That's what you're going to use to eat through the health pools. Although it looks like Haplo on the offensive side, showing what his Ryan's got, getting 2 picks.
Yeah, that is huge. Without those 2 picks here, I can't say for certain that this would have been a 1 fight for Hyve. So fantastic job by Haplo, getting into a good position, not getting bullied too much by SDG, staying in line of sight, getting the charge and getting the kills. But now it's going to be SDG coming out for a very aggressive fight here. Overtime is in effect. Bokan is going for the giant shatter and he's completely denied.
Oh no.
Bokan had a fantastic shatter lined up in his eyes. He got booped across the map before he could get any value out of it. There was even a Zarya shield there that stopped all of the damage. That has got to be one of the most frustrating things as a Reinhardt. You're in the right position and then it's just CCville.
Yeah, I mean, Bokan didn't do anything wrong. He didn't get outplayed there. He waited for Haplo to charge. As soon as he charged, he pulled the shatter, but then Hot Date saving, or I guess Jose saving Haplo with the shield, doesn't get shattered, knocks him out of the way, and then he goes for the pin to get the ulting Bastion and misses because of a Lucio boop. So just the CC totally denying him here. What a curious engage on the defensive side coming in through window like that.
Yeah, very, very aggressive. That is what's worked for SCG so far in these fights, but on this one, the trance was there, so they weren't able to get a whole lot of value. Either everybody on the enemy team dies the moment you drop out of that window, or you're in a scary position, especially if you know Muffins is on the field. I mean, not only is he getting trance, saving his whole team, but he's still getting kills as he comes out of trance. Muffins can't be stopped, and it's going to be crucial for SCG to have some sort of response here to what Muffins is bringing to the table.
If SDG can't touch, though, they have the Moira ult and Brigitte ult, so much sustain coming out. This Bastion might not be able to pump enough damage to destroy this defense.
Ruby coming in with the Coalescence very early in that fight. Damage is being just thrown down range, but nobody's dying, and then huge Earth Shatter taking down the whole enemy team. Snarf is going to try to follow up, getting a lot of damage in as well. But now we've got kills being traded back and forth. Snarf won't be stopped, getting 2 more kills. Make that 3 more kills. Snarf just carried this fight.
And I mean, look at that beautiful crossfire. Sesko on the offensive side and Snarf on the defensive high ground. There's no shield that's going to prevent that damage, especially if you want to touch the card. So Snarf getting all free shots in behind the shield, essentially for free in that fight.
Yeah, fantastic crossfire there, and we're going to talk about that a little bit more later, because that's what we're seeing from so many of these high-level teams, and it seems to be working. Graviton Surge and the Dragon combos coming out, not going to matter too much because the point is capped, but what a fantastic combo there just to seal the deal.
And that was, I mean, that was a really, really strong offense there. Snarf definitely pulling it out. I want to see what he did on this Junkrat, because it looked like he was doing things all day, and yeah, we saw this one.
Opening up the 3K is Snarf. What a fantastic play there, and then just enabling the rest of his team to go in, get those final kills, and get the team wipe. Really, really impressive play, but I want to go back to what we were just talking about, the concept of, you know, not just focus fire. Obviously, we know that's important, but having a crossfire. So when you're in a position like that where you're on attack, the enemy team is staggered back in their spawn, and you can take whatever position you like. Having your DPS taking separate high grounds is so important. It allows you to do a few different things. One, they can see things that the other DPS can't just because of their difference in positioning. But two, if the enemy team, once they come out to defend card, let's say they take a look at the Bastion who's top left, well, that's great and all, but now all of a sudden you've got a Hanzo on the top right shooting you in the back of the head. So it just creates a situation where the odds are stacked in your favor on attack, and Hyve showing that they really know how to play this game. They're not just doing, you know, we're running this comp and let's just hope that we beat them. They're setting up positioning that's advantageous, giving themselves the edge in each one of these fights.
Yeah, the setups are crazy. The ult economy, I mean, this is... I'm talking about this meta a lot, but that's because it's so new and so it's still in motion, where we don't really know what set in stone meta is yet. But it's very hard to alt track in a new meta because you don't know what combos should be coming out. You don't really know what you're used to seeing. It feels like you just pop Brigitte as soon as you get it. You pop Mercy as soon as you get it. A lot of these alts you don't really plan to pair with other alts or against opponent alts. So really hard to sort of manage alt economy in this fight. But it felt like Hyve Orange just always had an ult up. They always had something coming up next. They always had an answer. So that's coming out really strong on the side of Hyve Orange.
All right, everybody's favorite map. We are in Russia at Volskaya Industries, and let's see how we prepare to open up. We did see, I think we saw a little bit of Sombra play earlier on in Junkertown. That was quickly switched off. We've got Bokan, who is the tank player on Sombra, so you should not get too excited. Expect that to change.
Yeah, I wouldn't expect to see the Sombra, especially not from a tank player, but I would be happy to see it. I mean, you don't see it as much here, especially because the shield meta kind of makes it pretty hard to get those hacks off consistently. That new sort of nerf on Sombra where you get that 2-second hack timer reset makes her less viable, but oh man, trading in the hack for the hammer. I think it's a pretty good trade. Bokan been showing up on this Rhine, and I mean, this is a good map for him too.
And get very familiar to this site, folks. You are seeing triple support on both sides of the field. You should expect to see this essentially in almost every single game that we're ever going to play on this channel, at least for this patch. The triple support with the Brigitte is so strong because Brigitte is going to be acting as though she's another tank, a little bit of support, a little bit of tank, and she can do a whole lot of DPS. She's essentially the best 1v1 artist, and let's see if she's able to pull it out here. Fight is starting right away at Choke. Nobody's wasting any time, and the first kills are going to be traded back and forth, but it looks like everything's going the way of Hyve.
And Hyve definitely caught them out. They just killed it at very last second, but that DPS on the high ground not going to be able to do much as those shields pop out of nowhere. And you have the Lucio speed boost. You're already so close, so you can just instantly get into the enemy swinging your hammer. Having that advantage of knowing you're going to come out with the hammer and stun basically gives you an extra, I don't know, 150, 200 damage on every single character. So very rough fight there. That's very hard to scout. So smart entry, smart start to Hyve.
Snarf going in for the very quick shield bash. Is it going to be enough? Haplo is able to follow up and get some kills. So much damage coming in right now to SDG. They've got to find some way to respond because they are just eating hit after hit when they're trying to walk through here. And Korea's trying to put it on himself to respond. Getting a 2K on 2 of the supports. That's a huge deal. But remember, there is still a 3rd support in the wings for Hyve.
And she went down right as you said that. This is actually rough. Only the 2 tanks, but they call off the soft reset knowing that, hey, you're going to have support advantage. Yep, very, very smart reset here. Coming off, walking towards your spawn choke. You're going to give up some point, but you're going to have one more fight as 6, which is more than you can say about most of the time on a 2CP map.
Yeah, you don't really care about losing 2 ticks here because the plan after this point is to just full hold the enemy team. So you want to regroup with 6, and it's going to be happening right now. Bokan holding up that shield, keeping his team safe.
And those support
with a
ults.
Fantastic reverse shatter. First Bokan stopping the shatter coming in on his team. Gets the shatter on the enemy team. 2 kills, or I'm sorry, 2 people taken down, but no kills to follow up. There was no damage behind Bokan to make it worth his while.
Yeah, and that Brigitte ult, along with the Brigitte healing, the Moira ult, and the Moira healing, I mean, it's really hard to get enough damage to kill that team, even during the Zarya ult. So the fight comes out on Hyve's side. And like we said, that's the power of the soft reset. This is something that most 4.4 teams don't even have the discipline to do. This is incredible. So very, very good play. And I think they're trying something sneaky. Nope, they get scouted. So no sneaky setup this time.
All right, so taking a look at the ult economy that's coming in, Korea is going to try to get another 2 kill at least with his Dragon. Dragon's coming in right now. Is he going to get any value? Make it 3, make it 4, make it 5. He won't stop.
Wow, that's going to be a hard one to recover from. Only 1 tick needed.
Yeah, Hot Date and Korea knew exactly what they wanted to do on that fight, getting the final tick. They did invest 2 ultimates there just for 1 tick, but you know, when you're going into a 2CP map, investing 2 ultimates for 1 tick is most of the time going to be worth it. Now we're on to point B here. No ultimates available for either side here. Muffins is going to have his Coalescence ready very soon. Haplo as well with the hammer. Haplo just waiting for Snarf to get into position. She's going to try to bait out that enemy Reinhardt and then hit him with the CC and get that hammer ready to be going down. Coalescence is going out here, but no hammer being dropped yet. And the pin comes in. So much damage being traded back and forth, but no kills.
It's so hard to tell who's winning this fight. I think 4 ults coming, but the picks are coming out on the side of SDG on this attack. They're going to move to point and start killing the staggers. No progress yet. The staggers, the stagger response still could come through, but this is looking really bad if you're on the side of Hyve.
Take a look at Ruby. I mean, he flicks from character to character, either throwing the orb out to heal or hitting people with that Discord, and if not that, hitting people with the left and right click. What a fantastic, very confusing fight to start. I think we saw somewhere around 4 or 5 healer ultimates throughout that fight. What a fantastic way to keep your team alive. Both teams trying their heart out, but it was SDG who was able to come out on top.
If you want to see the craziest stagger fights of your life, or the most sustained fights of your life, just ask Blizzard to make 3 healer heroes meta in a team comp, because that's what we're seeing. This is just impossible. You see the Dragon Grav combos not even killing anybody anymore because there's just shields being produced. I don't know what it is. I think it's 15 every second on top of the healing that Brigitte does, so it's just so much sustain coming out. It's almost impossible to combo through these massive ults. And we saw so much coming out there. Even though they hit such a fat grab on the side of Hyve, you can't do much with it. So really, really strong attack on the side of SDG. They got people to walk in on the grab, and then they end up killing everyone who walked in and then just move to point, 3v6, slowly kill those respawns and take the game. So very strong showing on point 2, which is typically where the defense is going to want to hold longer.
Yeah, and we're seeing Korea and Hot Date. They both know what it's going to be. It's going to be the Zarya and Hanzo combo once again coming out for SDG. Best combo since the Rock and Sock connection. And I'm very curious to see if there's going to be as much healing coming out, because what we saw before from Hyve, remember, they were on defense last time. They were able to enable a lot of healing. They had the triple support again. You know, we're probably going to see that coming out once again here. But it's very, very difficult to deal with the consistent damage. You know, if you're a Hanzo on defense here, the enemy team has to walk into you, so it really puts you in a great position. That's where Hanzo wants to be, on the high ground with the enemy team walking forward.
But the thing is, on the side of Hyve, they're taking the double sniper, so if you're sitting back on point, it's gonna be in the advantage of Cesco.
And it pays off immediately with Cesco getting a kill. Korea did not want to see that happen this early in the fight. I think within about 8 seconds getting that kill. Fantastic job by Cesco, opening up this point, putting in the Hanzo into a position he does not want to be in.
And now that Rez is down, Hanzo's playing the front line, helping out with that shield break and punishing the tanks when shields go down. But Cesco's going to be in the background hitting shots. And look at this, just free damage behind the shield on the supports. Korea doing a good job to deny it.
Is going to be Korea on Cesco, but it's not until Cesco does plenty of damage to open up that point for the rest of Hyve to walk in. Korea, very valiant effort there, but was not able to take out the entire enemy team on his own. So it is going to be a full cap here by Hyve in really fantastic time here. It only took him about a minute to walk in there and completely control that fight.
And really unfortunate for Korea there because he got the right pick, but he just got it 1 kill too late. If that Brigitte would have stayed up in that fight, then Hyve wouldn't have been able to bully Bocan that much. But since that Brigitte, Son of God, was off the field, they were able to just walk in and volley him like tanks can. So really unfortunate that Korea didn't get that kill maybe 3 seconds earlier.
And now we've got Hyve walking into SDG on the second point here, but take a look at Hot Dog. Hot Dog has the Graviton Surge, is going to use it right now. Korea's thinking about using the Dragon, but does not need it. Plenty of damage coming in.
And that's a strong defense. You're looking to just kill this Widow on the disengage. And she gets away with the hook shot.
Really smart play by Korea there. I'm sure it was great comms as well, just letting everybody know, listen, we got the grab, plenty of damage, no dragon, right? And now you have the dragon ready for the next push here. So Korea's in a very good position. Felt Up is coming in with the Mercy Valkyrie on attack for Hyve, and that is incredibly important. The problem is, if you're going to be walking in with Valkyrie into a player like Korea, either he needs to be dead first, or you need to be playing in a subpar way out of his line of sight just to stay alive. And take a look at this. Hyve opening up this fight with 3 kills. The shatter comes in from Bocan, but he's not going to be able to stay up and do anything with it.
And that grab just to help clean up those kills. Hanzo really scary, but when he's grabbed, sitting still, really easy to kill him.
I mean, watching Cesco's crosshair just whip onto the enemy team's heads is so scary. I cannot imagine playing against him, but Yugi is gonna do it right now with the Doomfist getting in there with the kill onto Cesco. That is such a huge deal, and this is what we call 2CP lol.
Wow, this swaps Yugi flexing onto the Doomfist. I mean, we see it a lot in Korea. The support players all know how to play Doomfist, knowing that he's sort of the best pick potential in a last-minute stressful scenario. But coming in to get a kill, and the amount of time that Son of God bought on the Brigitte, that combo of you can't allow kills and sustain in 2CP. If you allow that, then it's going to end up being a 2CP low, and you can't really blame anyone for that one. You just have to get those kills faster. Son of God and Yugi coming out for that team to help that defense.
Yeah, but taking a look at Hyve, they're in a very good position here. They have 2 ultimates ready right now, including Muffins on that Transcendence, so they can take a lot of damage and buy a lot of time, but are they going to do anything with it? Muffins opting not to use his Transcendent there just to stay alive. I think that's smart. You pretty much know that if you're about to die there as Zenyatta, it might not be worth popping it right away, but he might get res here. We might see him getting it, being able to use it to keep his team up. And again, smartly seeing that it is not an opportune time. You know, what we're seeing from Muffins is he's very, very calm. He's not getting panicked. Even in situations where he's got the monkey diving him, he's got all this damage coming in, he's not just going to waste that Transcendence. He knows how crucial it is to be able to sway this next team fight.
And here's the thing, okay? Hyve used 0 ults, absolutely 0. They got a tick. They walked on with their tank presence, knowing that dive doesn't have the sustain that their tank comp does, and they get a free tick for that. So now you have 6 ults basically coming up to get 1 tick. That's the kind of math I like.
Exactly, and I'm sure Hyve is feeling the same way right here. Mercy going down very quickly. That's Yugi getting taken out of the fight. This is a huge deal. This is the opening that Hyve needed, and then Snarf getting kills with the headshot onto Ruby. Muffin's just trying to keep everybody up here. Very, very smart. They're holding his trance for the blade that entire time. He had trance available for about 3 minutes. He did not choose to use it earlier on in this map, and it looks like it paid off. The patience was worth it, saving his team at the end there with the Transcendence, but it looked like the point was going to be capped. And what was really incredible about that map there was, just like you said, Dancer, getting that second tick. It happened very sneaky. It happened behind the scenes. What an incredible heads-up play by Hyve to go to point, take the fight onto point, and force the enemy team to respond to you. If they're going to be running dive, they're probably going to be waiting for their, their shift, for their tanks' shift abilities to be getting back up. In that short interim, nobody touched the point, and it went in the way of Hyve for the attack. So very, very smart play to be able to get that tick and then enable yourself to, finish up with the final tick at the end.
But I mean, I have to give it to SDG there. I mean, first of all, they had it in time bank, so the stats are with us there. But SDG's defense looked a lot better than Hyve's, to be honest. I mean, first of all, they actually had a 2 CP low, which I almost require in order to say you had a good defense. As well as, like, that was just really, really strong. If they held a little bit longer, especially on that second point. The second point is where you want to be holding a long time. It took 6 ults to dislodge that defense. 6 ults. That's a big deal. That says something. If the enemy has to wait to get 6 ults in order to get 1 tick and finish a map, your defense is pretty strong. So definitely SDG showing up on that map. I think they probably practiced it once or twice because that looked really, really polished.
Couldn't agree with you more on that one, Dancer. This has been so much fun to watch. Every single time that you think, wow, SDG is really, really outplaying Hyve, this is looking a little bit one-sided. Then Hyve shows why they belong here. And then you get into this position where you're like, can Hyve be stopped? Can Hyve Orange be stopped? I mean, they have so many so many different hero pools that they can choose from, and then they have those fantastic sniper comps that they're just hitting these shots with. So then you get into a position where you think Hyve is the better team, and that's what I love about this game. We're seeing these teams jockey back and forth with positioning, with skill, and it seems like, we mentioned this before, it's these small mistakes, it's these small decisions that are really deciding each of these fights. So fantastic to watch. Very, very interesting to see what switch is happening right here, because it looks like they're going back to spawn on defense. Not sure what SDG is thinking here.
I guess they call it off. The double sniper has been working for them pretty strongly. Like I said, I don't want to be a broken record, but these crossfires, if you can make them happen, such a big deal. I mean, if you give Son of God a little bit of space, he's going to click on a head. If you give Korea space, he's going to use his E ability and probably kill a tank, or, I mean, kill 2 squishies, because he's doing so good with this new Hanzo.
In a great position is Korea on the high ground, and it looks like Widow's going to be holding blue car, which is behind where the Hanzo is right now. So, no matter where you go, you're in a sideline of one of the snipers, and then of course you've got Mercy pocketing everybody. So the fight is finally being taken on to the point. The dive is in, Haplo's there, Jose is there, and who's going to be getting the first kill? It's going to be Korea once again.
Yeah, really rough spot to be if you're a Tracer. I mean, even with that E ability, the reduced damage, it's still a 1 headshot kill for Hanzo to take you out. So you really got to be careful when you're running into a sightline when he has that ability up. The Stormbow really, really strong as an anti-Tracer defense.
Fantastic full hold defense coming in from SDG. They waste a minute off the clock for Hyve. That might not seem like much now, but just think back to this. If you see us in overtime later, how much more this minute that was just lost would have helped.
Yeah, I mean, basically one fight. It didn't even feel like a very, very strong fight. The dive was kind of half committed, very weak on the low ground, trying to force the drop onto point. And Korea once again picking off this Tracer.
Yeah, that is a dead push there. The Tracer, you bring the Tracer out so she can just be that backline harasser, force the enemy team to turn around. And Korea, I can't believe it. He will not be stopped. I mean, he's finally stopped, but he's done so much damage, getting 3 kills.
It's too late. I mean, if you let a Hanzo do that much, and the interesting thing is Korea, I mean, I said they were going to try and build this crossfire. That's what I expect when I see the 2 sniper. But it looks like Hanzo's being played as just a good front line. A lot of the time, he's sitting on this Orisa shield. Right now, he's a little bit forward because he's allowed to be. He has that Sonic arrow that comes up every once in a while. He can sort of see the spawns coming in and try and hit a headshot to buy another 15 seconds on a reset. But like I said, look at his positioning. He's on this shield. If they come walking through, he presses E with a damage boost, and he's going to get 1 or 2 kills. So basically denying the space so Orisa can't get dove on or walked in on. So really, really strong positioning by Korea here, and opening the space for Sant to do his thing.
SDG is in a great position here. They have 4 ultimates available. Yugi's going to be popping the first one. Mercy Valkyrie coming out trying to give his team some sustain. And it looks like the entire Winston is going to be spent trying to take Korea out. And he doesn't even die. He makes it back on the land. No, don't take out the Winston, not like this.
Oh, and he
is not able to. 1 HP Winston, what a fantastic just dedication to the craft of Hanzo by Korea there, but it was a little bit too much. The pincer attack came in, and that's exactly what Hyve needed to cap this point. But they did use all of the ultimates that they had stored up, so now Hyve is in a position where they've used up their ultimates, but it seems like over on the side of SDG, they really wanted to win that fight. They used almost everything they had as well.
I mean, Hoplo took him a long time to get that kill, but if you see where he pushed the Hanzo onto, he pushed him onto Car, and as you mentioned earlier, Widow was playing that blue card, so now you have one Hanzo ult that's zoning both snipers. You have no DPS on the side of SDG, which is why Hyve came in and just won that point so convincingly at the end there, because one Winston was basically zoning your entire offensive force. Of really, really strong showing there.
All right, hanging on to the dive is Hyve. They know what their strength is, and they're going to be playing to it right now. It's been working so far. Snarf getting the first kill onto Son of God. That was his counter, and the McCree has been taken out of the fight.
I mean...
and then the unconventional counter. I mean, Korea just counters everybody. That's really what's happening right here.
I mean, yeah, good aim basically counters any character in Overwatch, and Korea's showing us why.
Snarf able to get 3 kills there, finally taken out by Bocam, but he's done so much damage. This is going to be another team fight that's won by Hyve, and Hyve is playing, you know, they're playing to their strength right now, and they're forcing SDG to walk into them. They're forcing them to walk into their game plan, and Hyve is just able to perform the game plan that they want to this peak performance. I mean, it's very difficult to stop them unless you have Hyve hitting, you know, 5 headshots in a row. Without that, Hyve is just really, really oppressive.
The thing is, when you're playing this kind of comp and you're building sight lines, it's really prone to dive, because dive can just jump on one of these isolated targets and kill them. So that's why you're seeing the swap. Really cool that they're forcing them to play dive like they want. You're controlling the pace of the game there, which basically gives you a massive advantage.
All right, so it looks like Sezco is going to be able to get that kill onto the Baby D.Va. That might be enough here, but remember, if you don't get the rest of those kills soon, D.Va will be back very quickly in this fight. Yugi staying alive using that Mercy Valkyrie. No kills are to be gotten because there's just so much healing off point, and then Son of God comes in with a 2K, make it a 4K.
Wow, what a strong defense there, taken out. I mean, once you lose a tank, you're in a rough spot. They lose the D.Va, but they still make it work. They had to pop a lot of ults there. Yugi using his Valkyrie to keep his team healthy as they kind of stayed forward without that extra tank. Son of God popping his McCree out, getting tons of value. Not always easy to get picks on that one, but good positioning. Gives him the double, and he cleans up the D.Va right after.
Yeah, and that's what's so incredible about SDG, especially on defense. They're enabled to do everything that they want to do. They can really just have the time to hit these shots because they have Ruby. They have Yugi keeping the team alive, and this is what's so fantastic to watch. It's not just, you know, who can hit the most shots. Yes, that's important. We've been seeing that a lot here, especially with those headshots. But you're getting the sustain that's coming in from Yugi, that's coming in from Ruby, and it's enabling you to win a lot of these fights that really are not in your favor.
And Muffin's putting tons of pressure on this Tracer play, unable to really do what he wants. The Tracer peeling, and that's a ineffective Tracer there, but your McCree comes through with the first pick on Genji.
And 2 kills coming in from Son of God. He is really trying everything he can to keep this point alive, cap it as quickly as possible. And
this
Yuki
Mercy
does have the
trying to
Valkyrie
hold on to her
available. Is she
Valkyrie.
gonna use it? And she does. She wants to stay alive here, using it for the sustain for herself, and then the side benefit is keeping her team alive as well.
That's a scary moment, and that's a hard choice to make. The Lucio almost gets the back half, 0.83. Good job on that Zen not leaving. That was a scary moment, turning around and seeing that Lucio hidden. Good job, Zen, sitting on that payload, making sure the back cap doesn't come through.
Wow, and Muffin again just fragging out. This Zenyatta is insane that's coming in from Muffin's getting the first kill, and that's going to open up this point. He's got Trance as well, so this is a very good position for Hyve to be in. And then you taking out 2, that is so scary.
And the ult's coming out, the commitment is happening. This is going to be the fight that they want to be the final one.
Well, 20 seconds left in the match, and that's not when you want to see 3 of your teammates going down on the side of SDG. Very, very scary here, but Ruby's going to stay alive as long as possible.
And it's this Lucio's job to trigger the overtime. Not sure if he's been scouted yet. Oh, it's a rough spot to be. I'm not sure if he's going to be able to make it.
And with 1 second remaining, trying to get in there, get into a good position, is going to be felt, but taken out by Son of God. So fantastic defense that came in there, very, very clutch, and almost had a moment, a very scary moment with about, what was it, 0.8 meters left to go. Almost got a sneaky little cap in there from the side of Hyve.
Yeah, I mean, like, it takes a lot of I mean, like, that was just really smart positioning on the Lucio side. I guess there wasn't any kill tracking happening. They didn't know that Lucio was kind of out of the fight. Makes sense. Lucio isn't really one, unless you know he has beat up, you're not really trying to pay attention if he's still sticking around in the fight or not. And I think he just hid right behind that payload, got it an extra 2 or 3 meters, so it's 0.83 meters away from the finish. Basically 3 points, but not quite there. If SDG can complete this map, they will win it. But it's not going to be an easy thing to do. That 3rd point and 1st point aren't always the easiest to attack.
Yeah, we're going to have to see what's going on here on the attack. Are we going to be seeing very similar things that we've seen all night long? Or are we going to see a little bit of a switch here? I don't think you really need to fix what ain't broke. Again, these fights are not being won and lost necessarily because of a team comp issue. A lot of times what's happening is you're just dealing with an incredibly good team, right? So you might be doing all the right things. You might be in the right position. You might be firing those shots down range, even hitting some of those shots, but you may be a 4,400 team. The enemy team is as well. They're going to be doing all of those same things. So a lot of times it's just who gets the first shot, who gets that lucky pick initially, and that could be enough to sway an entire fight. So that's why we're not seeing too many, hefty switches. We did see a little bit of a switch going from the triple support onto more of this traditional dive, and it does seem like we're going to see a dive coming in again, this time on attack from the side of SDG.
And we're seeing a unique crossfire being built here with, Hanzo being the front line and Widow set up on the Orisa shield. Not really used to seeing this, but strong, denying the high ground positioning around that corner.
All right, looks like Tracer is forced to use a recall, and that is very scary because Sesko is there to clean up the pieces, taking out Son of God, and this is going to be 2 kills going in the way of Hyve. This is a dead push.
And if you see the difference between Hyve's positioning on defense and SDG's, they're not allowing the tanks to get up on this high ground like Hyve was allowed to on their offensive round. They're denying those tanks to jump up there. Typically, the tanks want to jump up here. They want to wait that 5 seconds and get their mobility abilities back up. But look at where Hanzo's holding. If you jump up there, you're going to be kind of eating some arrows.
Hanzo already with that dragon ready, and then Ruby with the right click taking out the enemy team's Widowmaker. That's a huge deal. SCG has so much space here.
Yeah, Zen gets dropped, caught out by the tanks. Mercy flies to the wrong position, and same thing. They're able to kill her for free, and it's all cleanup from there. If your healers get caught out without any peel, it's going to be a free cap. And SDG takes advantage, and they start their long pursuit to get the 3 points on this payload.
All right, so we do still have the dive coming out here, which I love to see. And look at Korea. He has such a diverse hero pool. He's able to do so much. It's not going to work, though. Snarf hits a headshot from across the map onto the flying Mercy. What a fantastic shot. Tracer Pulse Bomb going in from Son of God. You really just want to use that on cooldown. Didn't get any value this time, but don't worry, there will be another one coming up very, very soon. That's what you should expect to see from Tracer, and that's exactly the way, the style that Son of God likes to play. He really just wants to enable opportunities for his team, provided that they're running the dive, which they are. The Tracer's job is to get into that backline, either force enemy team to move into a disadvantageous position, or just get a quick pick.
And Hyve finally stepping onto the cart, denying it from moving for free. Ruby with that first pick might be resable, but the dive comes in.
I'm not actually sure how you beat Ruby. That is the second time we've seen him opening up with a headshot kill first pick to open up the fight. Hyve is in a bit of a scary position here. D.Va Bomb not getting any value, but it is going to make everybody move into a very odd positioning there. Shouldn't matter too much because Hyve has the response. No panic coming in from Hyve, and they do get kills.
And they even got the Mercy all committed out of Yugi on that one. I mean, it looked promising for a second. Son of God still looking to make something happen. They're trying to deny these reses when they can. One thing SDG is doing consistently is calling out the targets of a kill and then diving it to try and punish the Mercy. Even if she gets the res, she'll be so low health that she'll be easy clean up.
All right, now we've got 2 kills going in the way of SCG. This looks like it could be their moment to push this point, potentially to the second point and beyond. A couple of ults are going to be online for Hyve, but they choose not to use anything right here. The writing's on the wall. They have lost this team fight. Save everything and get ready for the next fight.
Yeah, you're going to have one opportunity to touch here. Still pretty far away from that second tick, so Tank's going to be looking to take high ground. Yeah, there might be a fight for just positioning to get onto this cart. Going to be rough. You're going to have to use your mobility just to get there.
All right, and the fight is going to be taking 4.88 meters left to go. Bokan getting very, very angry and swinging as much as he can, not taking a whole lot of damage. Nobody's looking at Bokan, and he's able to do whatever he likes here. Ruby once again getting the first pick of the fight, taking out Snarf with the right click.
And he does it right before he pops his ult, too, to continue the sustain. So, really strong showing by Ruby here.
And the point will be capped there by SDG. If any more kills come in, it's not really going to matter too much. SDG's spawn is very, very close here. They're going to be holding hyper aggressive to try to get some of these exit kills. Yugi showing us who the better Mercy is, getting that final hit onto Felta.
And there's just a lot of stagger happening here on the poke, so not a lot of hard resets being called. Since you're running so many snipers, everyone wants to keep poking, trying to get that first pick, but it just leads to a lot of these fights being 5v5 and being position based, so that's a strong showing. You're gonna have to back out. And like I said, look, these snipers still peeking. They don't want to give up this positioning.
And so many, and it's due to the snipers, and of course due to Ruby, who's been just popping off like a maniac. So many of these fights, just like we mentioned before, they're getting opened up by that first pick. Who's able to get that first shot downrange? And it just opens up so many opportunities to follow up behind that. Or if you're on defense for Hyve, there's no need to push into that. Getting that kill on the D.Va mech is so crucial. They can't push in until mech is back. And as you can see right there, Hot Take just jumping off the edge just to try to get mech back faster. But you've already wasted 30 seconds off the clock just because your Hanzo hit that shot.
And now you have sights. The same thing. If they choose to engage here, you're either going to buy 20 seconds with this sights, or they're going to engage and you're going to get a free chance to hit that shot.
This must be so frustrating for the tanks coming in on the side of SDG. The moment they attempt to go in anywhere towards Hyve, Setsuko is just making sure that they're coming in with 200 to 300 less HP than when they started.
And yeah, like you said, Bokan has to drop that shield so early just to deny that, the sniper damage that's coming in so often.
All right, so it looks like a D.Va Bomb is going to be committed here. Nobody's dying to that D.Va Bomb, at least not today. Jose is waiting to get back in the mech, finally does. And then we've got plenty of kills coming in for the way of Hyve. This has been a very familiar sight. The cart has been sitting at this corner for a solid minute and a half, almost 2 minutes at this point, because SCG just does not have any good way to push in without, one, getting picked, or two, losing all the health off of their tank. So then it's completely irrelevant to even attempt to dive with a 200 HP Winston.
Yeah, but Muffin's having to commit his ult there is a bad thing, because Son of God getting ready for this. He has his blade up, knowing that no support ult will be able to deny it.
Yeah, very, very smart by Son of God. Just did not see a a huge amount of value to be gotten from that blade, so he saves it, but we might be seeing the blade coming out here, looking for the Mercy, trying to get her out. Here comes the blade right now. The Mercy is staying alive, but she's finally taken out. Son of Guy getting that dash reset, and I mean, that's all she wrote for this defense right here. Complete and utter destruction coming in from SDG. They have just been holding pent up with all of this aggression, and now they're finally taking it out on Hyve.
But there's gonna be probably one more fight. Maybe if Hyve can end it quickly, there'll be two. But looks like last fight coming up here, and not many ults on the board for either team.
Yeah, Hoplo's gonna just be using that Winston ult to try to get as much room as possible, but that is huge. Ruby is taken down early in this fight. That is very, very scary on the side of SCG. This could be a dead push before it even started. And yet now we've got the second kill coming in. Muffin's again in the kill feed, this time taking out his arch nemesis, and it's a Genji. All right, you've got 20 seconds left, so you either need to die. Yeah, it looks like they are going to die as quickly as possible. SDG has a chance, but they're going to need somebody to get up there first, touch the point, trigger the overtime, and then, you know, fill in that space that's made once the overtime is triggered. It's getting very close to the wire, though. 3 seconds left. Is anybody going to be able to touch? Looks like there was a touch on the point, so SDG does still have some life here. Snarf dropping his dragon into the fight, really just trying to zone people out. No kills are coming in from either side here, and the Mercy Valkyrie is in.
And that beat just a little bit too late to save Bokan and Son of God. Looks like it's all cleanup on the side of Hyve here. But Hot Day coming through.
Hot Day finally getting some kills with that Diva Bomb, getting a 2K, including on the Muffins, who we know is one of the carries alongside of Snarf. This is huge. Hot Day will not be stopped now. He's getting a third kill here, looking for his fourth onto the enemy team. Tracer taken out by Korea. Is this going to be enough to get the point to the final moments? We're in overtime. I don't know what's going to happen because the card's not even moving. So much stall coming in from the side of Hyve. Are they going to be able to hold it for much longer?
And this really still could be anyone's game. The blade coming out, paired with the Transcendence to keep his Genji nice and healthy, keeping him hacking.
And just like that, SDG caps it with the blade trans combo, keeping that Genji alive, getting as much value as he possibly can out of the blade. What a fantastic final attack there. That was a very ad hoc attack that came in really planned after the fact, but all the pieces fell into place in the perfect way. And man, that was so fun to watch there from SCG. Really top tier play coming out.
Yeah, I mean, really strong there. Hot Date totally saving it for his team last second there. Strong showing, and I mean, that's gotta be rough. You get the first 3 picks, and then a Diva pops her ult, gets back and back, and then kills 3 herself. So, evening out the fight, Korean Hot Date from there, staying on cart and cleaning up any kills of the contestant. Really carrying that stagger, buying that long time that's required on the attacking side for the regroup.
And now it looks like we're heading out to one of our favorite maps to answer. It is going to be King's Row. Do you expect to continue to see the dive that Hyve Orange has been able to put together, and it's been very effective up until now, or do you think we're going to be going back to that triple support, triple tank comp?
I mean, we gotta see that triple support, triple tank comp, but I mean, King's Row was the debut of Double Sniper. This was the first map where it was ever done, and I believe it was actually Envious, or I guess Dallas Fuel Now, who pulled it out, and it was a big surprise, and no one expected it to work, but that concept of creating double sightlines and crossfires was born on this map, so you could definitely see a return to that, although the meta suggests it will be the triple tank, triple support. So I don't know. It's hard to be a gambling man. It could really go either way here.
Now here's a hard bet to take. Who do you think is going to win this map? Is it going to be SCG or Hyve? I would not take that bet, not any day of the week.
Just from what I've seen, SDG has been making me happy, and I feel like their stagger game is a little bit more organized, which at the end here, if this is going to be up to 0.3, I feel like SDG has the advantage on the stagger game. I'd bet SDG. It'd be a questionable. I mean, but I want to go, my heart is with SDG on this one. I think this is totally winnable for them.
Very interesting perspective there. I don't know that I can say it one way or the other, but here's the great part of this answer. We don't have to guess for too much longer. 1 minute until the doors open, and it looks like the defense coming out is going to be, yeah, we got the triple support, double tank, and of course Korea Boo is going to be on the Hanzo. I mean, that's just got to make you feel good. If you're on the side of SDG and you know Korea Boo is on the Hanzo, he's going to take so many situations that are either, you know, looks like it's going to be tough or completely unwinnable, and he's able to carry those positions back into, you know, potentially a full defense on A here. Of course, you've got Ruby on that Zenyatta who's been popping off all night long, so this is going to be a fantastic hold here. What's really, really scary, though, and this is what you should be watching out for on King's Row, keep your eye on Bokan, keep your eye on Hot Date, and then, of course, on the other side, Jose and Hoplo coming in from Hyve. This is how King's Row was won. It's the Reinhardt and it's the Zarya play. Whichever Zarya is able to have more impact on the game, it's almost guaranteed that her team will win. So keep your eye out for the tank play here, because that's going to enable the entire fight.
Well, we do have a Junkrat versus a Hanzo. Hanzo gotta be able to keep this high grab for free and get damage in behind the shield. I think we'll see a swap in his positioning as soon as he realizes the comp that they're running.
And Sesko just walking in right now, no fear, because he has 2 tanks in front of him and a Brigitte behind him, so really no fear coming in from the side of the attack here. Almost getting a free tick there, but now we've got kills being traded back and forth. Korea is getting the kill onto the enemy team's Junkrat. That is huge here, because now he's completely uncontested. The only person on attack here would be even possibly touching Korea might be the Junkrat if he's able to get into a good flanking position, but as it stands right now, Korea owns this point.
And strong showing there. And I'm surprised. I like to see that crossfire. I like to see damage in behind the shield. But that was really strong and really determined to hold there. I guess the idea is if they try and run through Hotel, you have your E damage up, as well as, I mean, your tank line right there to rotate to it. So you don't want to split your Hanzo up too much, because then they can just LOS him and deny his value. But when he's like this, he can do something like this, like getting damage right in behind, throw in his ult, and this is going to be really bad for the side of Hyve. This is going to be
very, very rough for Hyve to walk into. He is able to completely lock out the Junkrat and the Mercy there, getting both the kills, and then Hot Date coming in and following up. Take a look at the ultimates that are coming in for the tanks. We've got Hot Date ready with his Graviton Surge. Expect him to use it very early in the next fight. That's how good Zarya's work. If they see an opportunity, they're going to take it, but they're also incredibly aggressive. It doesn't always have to be a 5 or a 6-man grab. Sometimes 2 or 3. If it wins you the fight, it's more than enough. So let's see what Hot Date chooses to use here and how quickly he initiates. That 100 energy Zarya is there. Very, very scary, but it looks like the first Graviton Surge is going to be coming in from Jose. Getting the tire into Sesko, partnering with his Graviton. Thank you very much. I've got 2 kills. I'm going to make it a 3rd one.
Mercy pulling out the pistol, trying to get a bit of all charge, knowing that, hey, there's probably not a chance I'm going to hold this defense, but I'm going to put some bullets in your brain before I get sent back to respawn. So pretty strong showing there. I'm kind of disappointed in SDG there. They were the ones that had the tank ults up first. And look, Hot Date's still holding on to it. Well, Jose is building his next one, even though he was behind in the initial fight. So
all right, and it looks like Hot Date is going to be using that Graviton Surge right now. The Dragon's coming through. Not a whole lot of people are dying here. SDG has got to be pumping out a lot more damage to make it worth their while.
And I guess when your tanks aren't, I mean, when your line isn't there, you aren't able to take that space right after. 2 picks is typically enough to walk in and kill the rest of the team right after. Unfortunately, Bokan not there to walk in and build that space to clean up the other 4 after you get those initial tank picks. So not a lot of time on it.
Wow, take a look at Snarf getting into a great position, gets the kill on the Mercy, who was rezzing. She was even doing it behind the Rhine shield, but what great positioning by Snarf there to get into a position where he could get that kill, and that is just devastating on the side of SDG.
And the Hanzo hall monitor duel happening, Snarf coming out on top against Korea. That's strong. That's a very, very late pick. This payload's moving so quickly, you might have to engage without your Hanzo if you're on the side of SDG.
Yeah, SDG is not in a great position here. They are going to have Transcendence ready. They might be getting a couple more ults ready, but this is going to be later in the fight. How do they win this early portion of the fight? Yeah, Transcendence coming in, just trying to keep Bokan alive so he can get as much damage in as possible. Try to build that Reinhardt shatter. No shatter coming in yet, and Yugi is the first one taken out. That spells disaster, but Korea's got other things to say. All right, now that the Transcendence has ended, more damage can actually be pumped into the enemy team. Is Hyve going to be able to stay alive long enough? Not if Korea. Again, he will not stop. He is getting these headshot kills. And again, I don't want to credit everything to Korea because obviously that was a very interesting trap. Obviously, there was so much damage, a really, really smart play. You have on the side of SDG these incredible healers that are just staying alive in these clutch positions. You had Ruby just keeping his tanks alive. But then, of course, you've got Korea getting these kills, and then Son of God is not going to be out then. He's getting a 2K of his own.
Can I give Hot Dates Friendly Bubbles MVP award? Because every single time a DPS is getting caught out, Hot Date throws his ult on them. It feels like they're unkillable. Like, he's really, really smart with these bubbles. Might not be building them charge all the time, but definitely helping his DPS make those plays.
Not in a very good position there, but now we have dragons coming out from both sides. Oh, I'm sorry, just a dragon coming in from the attacking side. Snarf is able to get a kill. Graviton Surge was also used there, but not a whole ton of value coming in. And now we see the kills are coming in slowly but surely. A lot of, it almost looks like a full team wipe here. There might be one more, it looks like a Mercy on point to be killed.
Well, during that fight, Sesko actually snuck into the back, started backcapping. As soon as they realized, they ran into his grenade. So, wow, Sesko on that flank actually gets payload really close. And then by the time they realize it's too late, you have this crossfire built. You have grenades in your back behind the shield. You have the rest of the team in the front walking through your shield. So much too late after those ults committed to realize what was going on.
And keep your eye on Hoplo here. He's going to try to open up this point. He's got the Reinhardt shatter, and Bokan does not have his shatter available yet. Can they keep him up long enough to be able to use it? Transcendence coming out just to try to keep Hoplo up, and it looks like it might be working. This first shatter comes in from Bokan. He was able to build it in time. Hoplo still has not used his. Kills are coming in the way of SCG, and what seemed like it was going to be a very, very quick shatter coming in from the side of Hoplo and the Hyve. I mean, Bokan just got into a position, built his ult, and just had a fantastic shatter.
And I mean, that's the strength of being Orion good enough to deny the shatter. So Bokan, buying that time, by denying Hoplo the opportunity to shatter his team, that gave him the time to build that 20% he needed. And now look, he's 60% on this next one. He might get another shatter before Hoplo gets this opportunity.
Graviton Surge is being traded on both sides here, but Sesko is going to make it look like it's all in favor of his team in the Hyve, getting a 2K with the tire, and then Yugi getting some revenge for her team, taking out the Junkrat. That might not be enough.
But this is a lot of time bot. I mean, yeah, Yugi's going to die on cart, and then it's going to end up being a full team regroup where you can walk onto the point. So, I mean, not a bad position at all to be in.
Hoplo still hanging on to that shatter, and Bokan has completely built another shatter. And then Son of God, he just sneaks in when everybody is so busy looking at what's happening on the front of the field. Bokan comes in from the top, drops a 2K, and just stops the next fight before it even starts.
And yeah, I mean, they were already waiting for the regroup, but to get 2 more kills as you're waiting for the regroup, you have to call the full reset. So one ult traded to get a full reset for your defense. That's amazing value.
And Bokan once again shattering before Hoplo even has the opportunity. Bokan is just completely asserting his dominance, and it's working.
Yeah, I mean, Hoplo's still holding onto the shatter. That's a big deal. You're denying so much value. Like, Bokan's just doing it.
Right now it looks like some of the kills are coming in for Hyve. Hoplo is back into the fight, and Bokan is taken out. So now we're in a position where in overtime, but there is going to be time for one more fight coming in from SDG. Hopefully nobody gets taken out by the tire. They're smart enough to wait and spawn.
Yeah, you should be smart enough to get the regroup contest as soon as you can. Lucio looking for the boop, unable to get it. But this is still not too bad positioning. Korea getting that tire. Bay zoning.
And he does get the boop. Look at that. Onto Hoplo, taken out of the fight. But it looks like it's a little too late, too little too late. That came in. Fantastic boot by Yugi, but all of the kills came in the way of Hyve. Wow, what a back and forth fight.
And I mean, you can't expect too much. You're on the engage there. You have the overtime spawns too, so your spawns are coming in a little bit later than usual. you're not going to get an opportunity like you would on a full reset. So, I mean, they made what happened, like, they did as much as they could. Hoplo had the Shatter up, Snarf had his Dragons up, so really dangerous to try and walk onto that payload. It was a noble attempt to get there, so buying the overtime is still a big deal. Having 0 time on that clock can put a lot of stress on you, and King's Row is typically one of these swing maps where if you get that first map, you can kind of just roll the payload all the way through, and we've even seen time banks as high as 4 or 5 minutes. So,
and what was really interesting is, you know, watching the way that Hot Date and Jose were both playing the game as Zarya, it felt like not only did they look like each other, they're both playing Zarya, but it felt like a mirror match. They were building Graviton Surges at pretty much the same rate. They were even popping their Graviton Surges almost at the same exact time in a few of those fights. So the Zarya play is there. We've got 2 very competent Zaryas keeping high levels of energy. And then, of course, we saw what happened between Bokan and Hoplo. Now we've got a reversal of the sides. Let's see if that changes the aggression that comes in towards point A.
Yeah, if I was Hoplo, I'd be holding a grudge. I mean, that's so annoying to have no opportunity to shatter for that long. And in that time, like, basically you get shattered twice, or your team gets shattered twice. Bokan buying so much time on that defense. Hoplo should be looking for the reverse. I mean, I want to see a 6-man shatter here to make him basically redeem himself on that. Not that he played poorly, just that, I mean, he needs that. I think that's going to make him feel like the Ryan.
Absolutely, and it looks like Sesko is back onto that Junkrat here on the defense, so trying to just really close lanes. That's what Junkrat's the best at, just closing down these lanes, stopping people from going through. Let's see if he's able to get any value.
Yeah, a little bit rough trying to shoot in behind that statue. He's going to have to rotate here to get damage. Hoplo going a little bit too deep, gets caught out. Snarf unable to help him.
But the res does come in, so it looks like Hoplo's going to be back into the fight here, just swinging away with his hammer, trying to create as much space for his team. Snarf being taken out, and then Son of God being taken out, so there's no Brigittas on either side of the fight.
But the respawn advantage does come in for the attacking side. Having a Brigitte will make the difference. You're going to be able to push up on those tanks so hard, and that's why we're seeing a little bit of the back off. Sesko getting the pick. This might buy them the time they need to get the regroup on the defensive side.
The res is going to be coming in, so it looks like at this point we're at a 6v6. The fight is still happening just beside point, and now it seems like all the kills are going in the way for the Hyve.
Yeah, Hoplo getting it done, knocks 3 of them on their backs. The Discord helps clean it up for Korea. Wow, Korea.
That is going to be huge for his team. SDG has an opportunity right now, and you see that Reinhardt, everybody's pulling back. This is going to be a soft reset. Very, very smart here, because Korea getting in there, getting the 2 kills, especially on Mercy, I mean, it really forces Hyve into a bad position here. They're not on point, and now look at how much space SDG has to work with. And that's a huge Graviton Surge. Is there? Are they going to be able to do anything with it? The Dragon's coming in a little bit late. Does get 1 kill off of it, and then another kill coming in from Korea. That's 3 kills so far coming in for SDJ, and all that's left is to get those final few kills, get the cleanup, and cap the point.
Yeah, and I think Korea's forcing the reset kind of set up that Graviton. Typically, we saw some really semi-split positioning with Sesko closing a separate lane, usually pocketed by the Mercy. So the reason that grab was so big is because Korea on the reset got 2 picks and forced the soft reset, so that they had to walk into the defensive point and get grabbed so badly like that. So Jose looking for the same thing, but it looks like it's going to be a bit rougher because you're going to have to walk in and do that, and you don't have that Lucio speed boost that we like to see.
All right, take a look at Jose. He does have his Graviton Surge available, and Sesko has popped his tire. That is the cue for Jose to use his Graviton Surge. Is it going to be coming out here?
Taking the long flank.
And it is taken out by Korea. Fantastic positioning and timing there by Korea, getting picked back up by his Mercy. We've got a fair fight going on point, but Bokan's been taken down, and it was by Hoplo's Earth Shatter. Look at this Hoplo walk through.
And Hoplo, I mean, let his team get shattered, but I guess it was, I'm going to say it was a 900 IQ Jabate. Angles the shield to let his team get shattered, baits Bokan into shattering, and then shatters the rest of the team and wins the fight. So I'm going to say that was intentional, kind of baited that, and Jose is doing what we love to see. We're going to see a pretty nice flank here.
All right, so giant Graviton Surge, but it is going to be canceled by Ruby, getting the Transcendence in there, but so much damage comes through the charge, taking out Son of God, and now another charge is coming in from the other side. It's Bokan, so deep into the enemy team right now, but he's getting kills nonstop. These trances are just nullifying Graviton Surges both ways, but both teams are putting out so much damage. It's almost like the trance isn't there. There's so much damage being pumped in. Kills are being had. And now Muffins, the 350 Zenyatta is just so oppressive.
And Yugi pulling out his his Valkyrie a little bit late there. They do have respawn advantage, so they're going to be able to regroup basically on respawns, but Yugi got very little value out of that all. I probably would have held it until you wanted to go in the aggressive, knowing that most of your team was picked and you have to wait for respawns anyways.
Yeah, not too much to work with is SDG. They do have Bokan with that Shatter, blocks the enemy Reinhardt Shatter, so there's not going to be any value coming in from Hoplo, but is Bokan in a position to get the Shatter up? And he does! It's a huge Shatter! Can anybody follow up?
And that was so unfortunate, buying space in the choke, unable to follow up on such a massive Shatter. The only two still up were the tank line for Hyve Orange, unable to do anything after that work was done.
With a massive stagger is SDG. They just got staggered into oblivion there, losing both of their healers very, very late in that fight. Gonna have to wait an extra 10 to 15 seconds for the respawn. And it doesn't look like there's too much going on in the way of tank ultimates for the side of SDG. But if we take a look over at Jose, he does have another Graviton Surge, and Hoplo is almost there with his next hammer.
Gonna buy a lot of time with this tire. Didn't get any kills, but they weren't able to walk in, so that is 10-second spot still for the defense. Not tremendous value, but it's something.
All right, Jose is in a great position. He does pop the Graviton Surge, trying to get as much damage in as possible, but Ruby has another Transcendence ready for it. And then the Graviton Surge comes in from the other side. It's going to be Hot Date this time, and nobody's there to stop Korea from walking in, getting the 3K. These are some hectic fights. These tank ultimates, it feels like there's a tank ultimate being popped every 15 seconds, and it's incredible because there is a lot of response coming in from both sides. They do have plans in place to deal with these things, but when they're coming in so frequently, at a certain point, you're just going to get wiped.
Well, you're just using so many ults to counter, right? So you engage with the Zarya, and then you want to combo with something that, like the Dragon, and then Zen uses Trance, so that kind of cancels it out, but now you can still kind of get damage because that Dragon's canceling out the Trance, so you have this really long list of just cancels and counters, so you need 4 or 5 ults to win a fight, and it's really hard to set up your economy.
2 gigantic kills coming in for SDG. It looks like they're going to coast right into the second point here. Especially with Korea hitting that headshot. You know, any hopes that the Hyve had of getting some sort of defense started here ended with Korea hitting all those shots. And then, of course, we had Son of God starting it off, getting the tire kill onto the Zenyatta. That was huge for his team. Bought them a lot of time here and a whole heck of a lot of space.
Yeah, but 1 minute 20 isn't a lot for this last phase. It looked like there's only going to be one fight unless Hyve goes super aggro right at the start here, which is hard when you have Korea on the high ground. This tire might be able to force him off, though, and buy some space for the tanks to get on card.
All right, that kill is a giant kill that came in. Is the res going to be coming in to pick up Bokan? Thinking about it right now is Yugi, but not taking the opportunity. Instead, pulling back with her team, waiting for the next fight. Very, very smart play there. And take a look at the tank ultimates. We've been talking about these all game. Bokan and Hoplo are tied for having their ultimates ready at the same time here. And then Jose and Hot Date are also tied. They're both in the high 70s. And now here comes the question, with Hoplo's shield being that low at the start of the fight, is he going to be able to block the enemy team Reinhardt Shatter? We've seen how aggressive Bokan can be, and Hoplo is not in a great position.
It is just raining mines. So hard to even build up shield when you're getting hit by this many mines.
And it looks like the Shatter is going to be coming in from Bokan. He does get some value with it, getting about 2 or 3, getting a kill, and then Hot Date's there to follow up.
And it's a scary thing if you're the first one to shatter, because the second shatter is always going to be bigger coming through. Bokan hitting that second shatter, knocking the team down. Didn't get a lot of kills, but definitely got the positioning.
What a fantastic transcendence there. I can't even believe the timing of that one, but it doesn't look like it's going to be doing... Oh, no, I'm sorry. It's doing a lot here because now SDG is in a great position. Now they have their transcendence coming out. This is going to be very, very difficult for Hyve to get any sort of fight going here because we're in overtime. Respawns are not going to be in their favor.
And the Dragon to zone it, gonna be hard to touch. That Lucio almost got there, but that snipe with the Discord Orb is gonna be able to finish him off. And that's a 3-3-0 time bank tie on this map.
What an insane King's Row there. I mean, I don't even know what to say. Both teams had incredible moments on defense and on offense. I mean, the defense was so strong that both teams were forced into a position where they had to go into overtime. So now we're in a position where there's only 1 minute left on the time bank. Typically, we don't play these out, but it looks like these teams want to finish this map.
Well, I think they know scrims are done in 7 minutes, and they want to give you an exciting show. So play out this last minute to see who the ultimate winner is. And Arg, I gotta give it to you on the prediction. You said you couldn't choose, and then they end up tying, and oh, they always just bait me. I got excited for that last map, but looks like it's not gonna be able to finish. Arg, great job with the prediction there. You said you wouldn't be able to call it, and it was, I guess, uncallable because it ended up being a tie.
In fact, was uncallable. What a fantastic fight, though. I mean, that was just... You know, as just somebody who enjoys the esport of Overwatch, it was so much fun to watch that back and forth, you know, the crossfires that we saw, the bait, the double debate. Like, there was so much, you know, thinking on top of thinking. And SDG and Hyve showing that not only are they competent in what they want to do, but they're incredibly competent at picking apart what the enemy team is trying to do and responding in real time, sometimes even proactively before the enemy team has a chance to do what they set out to do initially. So what a fantastic game. Thank you so much to SDG and Hyve Orange for giving us a wonderful show, giving all of our viewers a fantastic show as well. A couple of quick announcements I want to make sure everybody's aware of. Remember, this is Horizon Overwatch Hype Week. We're doing casting every single night for the scrims as we lead up to this weekend, which is our tournament. Very, very exciting. A $450 prize pool is going to be given away to the top 2 teams. So make sure you're there. Make sure you're ready to watch because this is going to be a great one. Every night up until that point, up until this weekend with the tournament, we are going to be casting at 8 to 10 o'clock. Most of the teams that you're going to be seeing are part of the tournament, so you do get a chance to see kind of how they work, what some of the you know, benefits, I'm sorry, what some of the advantages, disadvantages of each of those teams. It's going to be very, very interesting, very exciting. Hype Week is continuing right now.